What's up, Fight Fam? It's the Boxing Bros podcast. I'm Caden and I'm here with my co-hosts. I'll let them introduce themselves.
You already know it's Trip.
And it's G.
Oh, TVE, baby!
He's already starting off poorly. All right, and the first thing we're going to do is discuss our reaction to Tony Harrison versus Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo regained his titles back after an 11th round stoppage to become the two-time super welterweight champion.
Cornball.
Trill, what are your thoughts?
Hey, listen. He did it. He got it back. It wasn't easy. Shout out to Tony Harris. He's still my guy. You know what I mean? Still proved that Charlo was a cornball. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Charlo, man. He did what he was supposed to do. He went in there. Now he's the two-time 154-pound champion. Now I just want to see him. Listen, I'm just gonna jump out right here. He gonna lose to J-Rock. How I'm feeling right now, he gonna lose to J-Rock. You listen. Your brother got a good catch and shoot on J-Rock. That was a lucky punch because he was losing that fight until he did that catch and shoot on J-Rock. Listen, man, you better learn how to box. Stop going in there and thinking that you is a knockout puncher, man. Because now, listen. J-Rock got a fight in February. You got to follow that. You say you want to be you think you the best at 154. I think J-Rock right now is the best at 154. So you're going to have to show me. That's how I feel. You're going to have to show me.
G?
I feel like I want to steal Trill's response on this. Yeah, I swear it's like you was reading my mind. I was like, J-Rock gonna get him. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, Jermell, during that fight, man, them hooks was too wide. Like, you know what I mean? He got lucky. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, because to me, that style is too predictable. So he has to go back to learning how to just box. It was good for this fight, but I usually say this, and I know y'all hate me when I say this, but I felt like Harrison defeated himself. He got too cocky.
I agree.
Never seen a fighter who actually won the fight.
No, but it's like Harrison, like, yo, bro, you was winning, yo. Like, you know what to do. Like,
he was.
Yeah, like you don't have to do these type of exchanges with the dude. Like, even though the two judges were trying to rob him, forget the judges. The audience knows the real. We know, like, bro, you're up. You know what I'm saying? And even if they did rob him, he had justification for a three-peat. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I just felt like that strategy, at first it was working for him because he's like, yo, I'm outboxing this dude in the pocket. Yeah, I'm hitting him, this, that, and the third. But how long that was going to last? And clearly it didn't last that long. You know what I'm saying? Because he got devastated in the 11th. So, you know, but shout out to both men. I just feel like J-Rock is that dude.
Especially if Charlo go in there fighting the same way he fought Tony Harrison. If all you take is a little bit of trash talk for you to come in here and fight wild like that, J-Rock
that's another thing too,
shit.
man. That's another thing too. Like, yo, this emotional type of fighting. It's just like, yo, no other man should get in your mind like that. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you're like, yo, boxing logic's all out the window. I'm trying to kill this man. It's just like, bro, come on,
listen,
man.
And this is coming from Wilder's number one, you know what I'm saying, guy.
I don't even agree when Wilder fights emotional. I don't agree when Wilder does the windmill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree.
Mean?
This
like,
is coming from
that's like problematic for me because it's like, you know, at this level, your competition will prey on that. A dude like J-Rock is gonna use that to his advantage. So it's like I'm just hoping like Jermell switches it up, goes back to the drawing board, and if you need to get a counselor, you need to go meditate, whatever. But it shouldn't be if a dude starts making jokes. Even though shout out to J-Rock, he's a commendable brother. He's not a trash talker like that. So I don't see that animosity if they ever do fight. But still, man, that emotional fighting stuff gotta stop, especially at elite level.
Shout outs to Muhammad Ali and Roberto Duran. That shows you, you know what I'm saying, when you get into a fighter's head, how that really can, you know what I'm saying?
Did you watch the fight, man?
Yeah, I caught the fight.
What were your thoughts?
Man, I picked Charlo to win, but I was really rooting for Harrison, and Harrison was outboxing him, and it just showed you like, yeah, he got knocked out, but That was all Harrison because he got a little caught. He was winning the fight. He didn't need to do the things he was doing. He could have let it go to decision. He could have played it smart, but he didn't. He chose not to, and it didn't end well for Harrison. But at the end of the fight, Charlo just came off like emotional diva. Like that's all I saw from him. Like I don't like him. I still don't like him. Just like you got your belt back and just focus on your next fight. But it seems like Harrison's still living in his head, yo. You know, he won the fight, but Harrison still got the keys to the apartments.
Well, it ain't rent free no more.
Oh, yeah.
I paid with that belt.
But my reaction was Harrison got dropped. So then he had to show Charlo, you're not just going to come in and take me out. So he stood in the pocket. I think him standing in the pocket, he had more success than he thought he would. So he was like, well, this is working. I'm just going to keep doing this. The unfortunate part about it was it's dangerous and you open yourself up to get caught at some point. And he got caught in the 11th. Now, 2 judges had Charlo winning at the time of the stoppage in the 11th. They had Charlo up. So Harrison would have needed a knockout to win the fight anyway. What are your thoughts on that? I'll start one off with G.
So I'll be honest. There was some rounds that I could see it going either which way. And, you know, based upon where the judges are placed in the ring, I could kind of see maybe a judge not seeing what another judge is seeing from another angle. And Charlo in this fight, he was pretty aggressive, you know. And so I know judges in the past, they like to give, you know, the fighter extra credit just for moving forward, right? But to me, that wasn't that effective to me because what I was seeing was Harrison landing jabs and literally snapping Charlo's neck back. Like, you could see it clear as day. Like, his head's just going like this. And I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, you got to box again, you know? So, but then, I'll be honest, man, it's getting too political, man. Because I don't see what those 2 judges, I could understand if one judge, maybe one judge. But 2 judges had it like that, I kind of feel like the fix was in. So, they wasn't feeling Harrison's antics outside the ring, and so they're probably trying to teach Tony Harrison a lesson this go around. But yeah, I'm not cool with those 2 scorecards.
True.
Judges is blind. I said this a long time ago. I don't fault the judges. I fault the commission. There's young guys out there that got good eyesight. They don't have to wear glasses and prescription contact lenses. These is old guys out here in their 80s and 77 years old. These poor guys can't see that well. So I'm not going to blame them and go in on these guys, but it's clear that they're blind and they was watching a totally different fight. Wasn't like the first fight. Like, all right, cool. The first fight, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I had Charlo winning the fight, but I was like, I see why the judges gave it to Harrison. And if you watch this fight again, you can see why Harrison won that first fight and the judges gave it to him because he was doing the exact same thing that he did in the first fight. This one is different. I don't see Charlo winning. No, none of these rounds. I had him down by at least 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? I gave him that knockdown in the second, but the first and the third round, I gave those to Harrison. It was an even fight going into the 4th round. To me, Harrison just outboxed him. He outboxed him. He just showed what outboxing somebody is. I don't know who these judges are. I want to get the names of these judges because I don't know if these are the judges that we know that's notable. They were just going off of the names and going off of hype, but Charlo was definitely losing that fight when it came to the stoppage. I think that these judges was watching a totally different fight.
Oh, and this is another thing I forgot to add earlier. Another thing I didn't like about Charlo's strategy was because he was so emotional, you notice in like the mid to the later rounds, he started getting really tired. So he goes real hard the first minute of the round, then his punching output started to slow down, and that's when Harrison started doing most of the damage. And then it's like you're almost letting Harrison steal rounds, if anything. You know?
I know we knew Charlo was emotional, but now I'm starting to take the emotional out of it. You know why? Because even though he was emotional, he was getting hit with some joints. This happened on the first fight too when he wasn't emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm starting to think now. Like if he's coming in here where he thinking he can knock out everybody, now he thinks he's a knockout puncher. He's not a boxer puncher no more. Now he thinks that he's just a devastating knockout puncher. Then he got another thing coming. This is ridiculous. He lost that fight to me. I mean, he was losing that fight to me until the knockdown.
Ned,
Scoring fights is not I'm not an expert on scoring fights, so I'm gonna fall back on that.
I had Tony Harrison up. I think he won the majority of the rounds except for the round where he got knocked down in. So I think, although I disagree with the strategy he fought, I mean, he wasn't going to win a decision anyway. So it's interesting. We're going to move on to the Danny Jacobs Chavez Jr. fight, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight. That ended with Julio Cesar Chavez quitting in the, or should I say retiring in the corner. My question is, did Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. quit? I'm going to start this one off with Trill.
He quit. And I feel sorry for his dad, and I feel sorry for the fans. Those are the ones that truly lost. And that's all I have to say about that.
G.
Oh, that was quick. Definitely for Mexican standards, he quit, and on top of that, the fact that his father was there, that I was shocked the way he said, nah, the hell with this, man. I can't take elbows and headbutts. Yo, I'm out of here. I just didn't feel like he even if, let's just say he did have a broken nose, you could still continue on. You just breathe through your mouth, So I don't feel that's even a good enough excuse for him to just give up on his stool. So yeah, he definitely quit. You know what I mean? Because he could have went out on the shield.
I think it's obvious that he quit. So with that being said, do you think his reason for quitting is justified? There are rumors that it was headbutts, it was elbows from Danny Jacobs, and that also there's also rumor going on that he hurt his hand or his hand was broken. Are any of those reasons for a fighter to retire in the corner, in your opinion, Trill?
Depends on the fighter. But I'm saying for this, I know there's some fighters done quit when they had a broken jaw. I know some fighters that fought on when they had a broken jaw. Some fighters done quit when they dislocated a shoulder or broke a hand, and some fighters done fought on. It all depends on the character of the fighter. This particular fighter that we're talking about, Chavez here, it wouldn't have mattered. You know what I'm saying? If he would have got knocked out, or if he would have in that ring, or he got stopped fighting, you know what I'm saying, in that ring. But the fact of the matter that he went and quit, that is the problem. Because this is especially being Mexican, this is something that you do not do. You know what I'm saying? They would have carried him out of there. They would have loved him for getting knocked out in that fight. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he quit, they can't swallow that. That's a hard pill to swallow for them.
G.
To be honest, if he actually did break his hand, I'll entertain a pass. Only because it's boxing. You need your hands to win. You know what I'm saying? And so if
You got two hands.
that's true too, that's what I'm saying. I'll entertain it. You know what I mean? Like, especially, I don't know if it was his left or his right. I don't know if it was like his jab hand that was broken.
Neither.
It was just his will. It was just his will that was broken. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, let's just say hypothetically he was telling the truth about the broken hand, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, usually adrenaline could keep you from feeling the pain. You could keep going, right? Some fighters could fight through that pain. Maybe his pain threshold just isn't as high. You know what I mean? If, in fact, I'm saying if he's telling the truth about a broken hand. I'm just saying I'm willing to entertain that. The broken nose, I'm not willing to entertain. The elbows, I'm definitely not entertaining because it wasn't like he was throwing like kickboxing Muay Thai elbows. It was more like elbows to like push him off. You know what I'm saying? So he's painting a picture as if like this dude was coming in throwing like sharp UFC, MMA elbows, which we all know wasn't the case. And then the headbutts, that's common. So I don't see how the headbutts and the elbows was justification for him to feel like, he's justified in quitting.
Listen, the only thing that this boy got, and he can say is, man, it was too much too soon. He was out of the sport for 2 years, and then he went in there with a Daniel Jacobs, who is the top, one of the top guys up in that division.
Exactly.
So,
And it hurt.
You know what
Let's
I'm
just
saying?
be real. Yo, them punches hurt.
yeah.
Let's just
You know
be
what I'm
like, yo,
saying?
whoa.
If that was that's the only thing he could say to me. You know what I'm saying? Too much too soon.
Ned, did you even watch that fight?
Yeah, I caught the fight.
Ned, you watched it?
Yeah, I did. I say this, he quit, man. For when he was in the corner, he was bleeding. They was just giving him all types of excuse. The doctor came over, the ref came over. They was giving all types of, this is a cut, the cut. I don't know if he could go any longer. The cut, he's bleeding. Oh, his nose broken. Oh, it's his hand, it's his hand. Oh, it's over. I was like, the guy, he was just taking off his gloves and everything. I was just like, he just wanted to get out of there. So. From the look at his father, they panned to his father. His father just threw his head down.
Horrible.
It was just like, yo, he didn't want to be there. Junior didn't want to be there.
And one thing that we forgot to mention is, did you see poor Freddie's face, yo? Freddie was
Freddie was like, he tricked me again.
Freddie was disgusted.
He tricked me again.
Freddie didn't even want to take his gloves off. Freddie was disgusted. He was just looking at him like, you see.
All right. Can't even look at him in the eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, get this shit.
He was like disgusted.
This kid's nepotism at its finest. I mean, you have the name Julio Cesar Chavez, and everybody knows what Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. accomplished in the sport.
And what he
As
stands
Julio
for.
Cesar Chavez Jr. He's dropped the ball a number of times, from not taking fights seriously, training seriously, to he's quit before in the corner. And he said he was serious. He got people back on the team. Like, he went to Freddie, was like, I'm back. And Freddie was like, I believe him. He got his dad there at the fight. He has the fans showing up. And there were signs that he wasn't really serious from the jump. He refused to take a drug test, so they moved the venue. He shows up overweight, and Danny Jacobs says, all right, I'll take the penalty and we can make this fight happen.
And made it a light heavyweight fight.
The fight happens, and Julio Cesar Chavez shows up as a cruiserweight. And Danny Jacobs still takes the fight. And so he complains. So do I think he quit? Absolutely. I think he gave it all he had, and he knew he was about to get knocked out. And he didn't want to. And I think that's the way everyone saw it. The crowd, his dad, Freddie, and no one respects that. It's like, bro, it's like boxing is one of those things where it's like, it's time to take your fate. Like, I've been in sparring sessions where I didn't have it that time, and I got hit with a hard punch, and I look at the clock and I'm like, yo, I gotta survive another minute and a half of this. I can't call timeout. I can't just stop and be like, yo, take off my gloves. No one will respect that. So what I do, I have to fight back. You have to fight back. And I think once that bell rung, Chavez knew I'm in a real fight, and I don't think I got it. And he said, take my gloves off. But no one respects that. The pay in public, his dad, his trainer, everyone's like, yo, go out there and see what would happen. Maybe you catch him with something and turn the tide. Maybe he'll get tired or something. But the way Chavez Jr. did it, I think no one respects it. And I think everyone feels like he quit.
It's the year of the excuses. You know what I'm saying?
Him and
So
Ruiz.
fans started throwing things in the ring. Beers, water, shoes, napkins, shoes.
Sombreros.
Listen, I don't even want to say some of the stuff I saw on the television screen. So what was your reaction to the fans throwing things in the ring? Let's start this one off with G.
Again, I wouldn't do it, but I understand why people do it. You know what I mean? And yo, because I don't even know how much like the tickets were to see that fight, right? But to go to a boxing venue is pretty expensive. You know what I mean? And so if you're paying to support a fighter, you're expecting that fighter to give their all. You know what I mean? It's a gladiator sport. You know what I mean? So this is what people pay to see. You know what I mean? Especially if they're supporting you. Like, you disappear, he disappeared for like 2 years. He's been inactive. However, he still has a fan base. And the fans are expecting a fight. You know, they're supporting you in particular, not Daniel Jacobs. You know what I mean? So you're supposed to give it your all. You didn't give it your all. You dipped out. People are justified in losing their mind. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't just happen in boxing. It happens in the NBA. You know what I mean? Football, like, yeah. So it's like if your team lets you down sometimes, that emotion gets in and you just lose your mind. You're like, yo, I'm gonna throw this $12 beer at you. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's that Budweiser.
you know what I mean? But yeah, it was just crazy though. But I'll be honest with you, it was entertaining for me. I was laughing, like hearing the commentators talk about them getting hit and everything, and
I know they were like, oh my God,
I just got hit. I just got nailed. You watch my back, I watch your back.
That's the dumbest thing I ever.
We go back to back.
right? It's not like, yo, you ever watch that movie Saving Private Ryan? That's what it felt like. I'm like, yo, that ain't no war zone, dog. This ain't Iraq. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sergio Mora was drunk. I'm going out there just saying it right now. He was drunk.
but
Too much
it's just
tequila. Too much
Like, they
tequila.
looked so upset, man. I was like, man, hey, it was entertaining for me, but I felt like that stole Daniel Jacobs' opportunity or his shine. This was his time to, talk to the fans, talk to, everybody, thank his supporters, all of that stuff. But it was, it was ended short due to the fact that, the arena was just losing their mind. You know what I mean? So that wasn't fair to Daniel Jacobs.
Even if it would have went the same way, Daniel Jacobs wouldn't have been able to talk to those people. They would have been. They would have been.
No, they would have.
They would have been left.
He could have still been like, yo, shout out to, Eddie. Shout out to this
He was just ducking.
yo, did y'all see his face though? Like, why he talking?
I said it. He's like, this is so disrespectful.
He said it like, no, his face though. It literally looked like he was dodging bullets. You know what I'm saying? I was like, why is he making the face like, yo?
So, Trill, what's your thoughts on the fan reaction?
I got three. I got three thoughts on this, bro.
All right,
got
let's
three.
hear them. Let's hear them.
First one, it's gonna be the most ignorant thing you know.
What surprised me?
I got three. First, number one, Mexican fans are the most passionate fans. You know what I'm saying? Because they love their fighters, win or loss. They just want to see a great fight. You know what I'm saying? Two, you know what I'm saying? I would have definitely been one of those passionate fans throwing stuff. I would have finished my drink, but I would have been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just because of everything I said on the prior week of Boxing
All
Bro.
right. So I'm gonna go through a list of items. You tell me if you would have thrown them.
Okay. Go
A
ahead.
beer,
After I was finished drinking. And the tequila. You know what I'm saying?
nachos.
Yeah, I definitely would have do the nachos.
All right, popcorn.
Definitely would have do the popcorn.
Your sneakers.
Not throwing my sneakers. Sorry, I'm not throwing no clothing items.
I mean, I have to ask this question. I mean, it just is what it is. Your underwear.
Depends.
If you win,
Depends.
So what did you do though?
How I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? How much tequila I drunk. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to say the fighter. If Canelo did this,
If Canelo, whoa, I would have lost my mind. I think I would have threw everything. I would have been naked in the stands. And the third one, because like I said, the first one, of course, the reason why I agree is because Mexican fans are the most passionate too. I agree because I would have did the same thing. And the third one, and it's the most logical reason of all why these fans act like this. They was in Arizona. You know how hot it is in Arizona? you know how hot it is in Arizona?
Summertime is the killing season.
It's hot out there. It's a good enough reason. You know what I'm saying? It's so hot.
It's not that hot.
Listen, it's hot in Arizona. It's still hot in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? There's people in there who had shorts on. Shorts and flip-flops. You know what I'm saying? And with a little bit of heat, mixed with a little bit of alcohol, and
A little bit of heat, a little bit of alcohol.
for real. And you paid that money for them tickets. They lucky that they didn't burn that place down. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Ned.
he was off for two. He took 2 years off, and his fans came out and they were invested. If it was Danny Jacobs fans there, they wouldn't have done that. They would have acted like they probably would have booed Chavez for
There would have been
quitting social.
70 people there if it was Danny Jacobs fans there. There would have been 70 people there.
Bro, it ain't like you fought
Show
in, like
some
New York.
respect. Show some
Yeah,
respect
I'm
to
just
Danny
saying.
Jacobs.
Nah, it's Arizona.
It's Arizona. And that's
It's Arizona.
Show some respect to Danny Jacobs.
Arizona's like little Mexico.
It would have been
bro.
75.
They would have booed if Chavez had quit in front of them like that. But it was his fan base. They came out to support him after 2 years, and he quit in front of them. Man, I'm shocked they didn't throw. They didn't go after him. You know,
He made it up. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
they get time.
We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. I'm shocked they didn't go after him.
Taquitos.
Yeah, real. Now he made it out of there. I'm surprised that he really made it out of there unscathed.
Man, this is the second time.
I'm shocked they didn't catch him in the parking lot. You know.
Word.
Thank you.
Respect.
Had all the low riders out there.
You know, when I think about the reaction, I don't like it only because it makes Arizona look bad. Will they be able to host the fight again? But also, you have a guy named Danny Jacobs who did everything he could to make this fight. You know, he conceded on a number of levels to make this fight. He walked in the ring. He did what he had to do to give them a show. It's not his fault. And so now you have him ducking beer bottles. You have his people ducking beer bottles. You create an atmosphere where people can say something negative about you, and it takes away from what Chavez did, because there are a lot of people who are going to be talking about the fans rioting and this happening, and then it takes some of the spotlight off of what Chavez did. Because although he quit, it becomes, did he deserve this? Did the people deserve this? Should the fans have reacted like this? Truthfully, like G said, I probably would have wanted to hit Chavez with a beer bottle. Like, how could you let my people down? How could you let us down? I spent money on these tickets. I could have went and did something useful with this money.
Yeah, especially the guys in Arizona.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear of the economy in
The
Arizona?
economy is bad in Arizona.
Yo,
It's
minimum
bad.
wage.
Yeah.
That's
Hence
why
the
I
reason
said,
why I said
I
I
would
would
have
have done
threw
something.
some. That's why
I got family in Arizona. The economy is horrible. over there. Yeah, horrible.
That's what I'm saying. I would have threw some.
So you got to understand their frustration. So I get it, but I do commend Danny Jacobs. So I take this opportunity to commend Danny Jacobs, being a class act, putting on a good performance. You know what? Much love and respect to the Miracle Man.
Oh yeah, you know the Miracle Man has always been a stand-up guy in my book. I don't question him and nothing he does, except for his wardrobe choices. But other than that, respect.
Patrick Day,
Don't
man.
have to pull up
Patrick
on
Day.
you.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm here for Patrick Day.
Don't have to pull up on you.
Nah, I'm not talking about his outfit.
Like the Hawaiian
I'm not about the Hawaiian shirts.
Gangster, son. I was gangster. Like, Hov had Hawaiian shirt.
I remember the Hawaiian shirt era. That's a whole front.
I
had a Hawaiian shirt on.
He brought that out the
was
closet
the only one
for 5 years.
Hawaiian shirt.
From 5 years ago.
Digital cameras weren't like the thing back then. No one can find
I remember Nate Dogg had one, but that was back in the
Everybody had a Hawaiian shirt back then.
Yeah, so yeah, all right.
Just kept his.
He's wearing his in 2019.
He's wearing his in 2019, but he's rolling up on someone.
he's pulling
smack about it.
That's what made it look.
Say you were gonna pull up.
Looking like somebody's uncle at the barbecue.
He's so well spoken. It's just like, damn, man, he really came from Brownsville. You know what I'm saying?
He's playing the game. He's playing the game.
I love Danny Jacobs.
You catch him. He knows when the cameras is on. You know what I'm saying?
Danny got a dude like held up against the wall, checking up like, I'll beat the brakes off you, but the cameras come, we gotta be broken.
I was just making sure.
You remember the 5 heartbeats? Yo, he's like red.
Office hours. Shout out to Dale Jacobs. Man.
Yeah,
Salute to that brother.
So moving on to the lesser known fighters on that card.
Oh man.
F.A. Ajapa fought a guy, I think you say his name, Killer Dies, I don't really know. All I know is the man was 39 years old. He was on shaky legs. He did the shaky leg a lot, but he was in the fight. Did you see the F.A. Ajapa fight, Trill?
Yes, I seen that fight, but
What were your thoughts on
you know.
Were you impressed with F.A.?
I was out during that fight. I was talking about the fight before it. You know what I'm saying? I was more impressed with the fight before it. It was a guy who was, he took one loss, and they threw him in there to fight against a prospect who was
Garone, I think his name is, yeah.
They threw him in there against a prospect that was supposed to be in there and tearing him up. That was supposed to, be the next one.
He did tear him up.
And he was in there tearing him up.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a good fight. He was in there
like
tearing him
biomass or
up.
something.
And then this kid did not give up. And he was brought in there in 2 weeks. He was brought in there to lose, and he was coming off of a defeat where his confidence was shot. He came in there, he stopped the kid. I was more impressed with that fight than this fight with this guy that they're trying to build up.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Yeah.
This guy that they're trying to build
this guy
up.
trying to build up. This was this was a horrible thing of trying to build, but it was exciting because it was on Fox, and the rest was letting these guys fight. You know what I'm saying? Those first two fights, the rest was really letting these guys fight. I guess it was exciting for all the fight fans who normally don't watch boxing and got a chance to watch it on Fox, but guy was horrible.
Were you impressed with F.A.?
He tell you he's horrible.
I was impressed. I was impressed by how horrible he was.
Dad, what were your thoughts on F.A. and Joppa's performance?
I was trying to follow F.A. and after last night, I felt his performance was. I'm learning a lot about the heavyweight division now. Like you can't just want guys. You can't just go in there and want to take each other's heads off because you might end up sleep. Like slaps. Shut up.
God.
Shut up. You might end up slapped in any round.
Wonder why Ned's the cameraman.
Any round. You might end up slapped in any round, all right? So
He gonna get sus.
Yo, what my man there was trying to say is, you know what I'm saying? He was impressed by the guy who knocked out.
Go there.
man, his performance was terrible. His performance was terrible. And I feel he has to build a better skill set. He has to build a skill set going further along in boxing.
More impressed by the guy that lost. He was on wobbly legs
He
and
dropped
still
him on
called.
wobbly legs. I think was surprised when that happened. He smiled. He got him smiling like, damn, he got me. He got me. So yeah.
So were you impressed with him or not?
No, I was not.
All right.
He looked sloppy.
All right. I'll play devil's advocate here, and I'm gonna say I'm impressed for the fact that he only got like 12 professional fights under his belt.
He fought like it.
Facts. But however, I'm gonna say this. I get it. They're trying to build him into this star for PBC, but he ain't it, man. Like he has a lot of flaws. For one, like he's real stiff. His head's up. He has a hard time maintaining distance. His jab is too slow. And he's only looking for the 1-2, like the straight right hand and the straight jab. That's all he's going for. He's not really trying to. A few times he did an uppercut, a couple of times, but it was like even that was like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not really impressed with his skill sets. And to be honest with you, like if they feed him to even Kalinowski, I think is going. This dude is food for any other dude that we know. If it's a heavyweight that we know, most likely FA is gonna be
Joe
food.
Joyce.
You know what's funny? That would be a good fight.
No,
And I still think Joe Joyce will kill him. No, but what I'm saying is, I'm saying
I know. I'm just saying in terms of like
their styles. Their styles are
like,
similar, but Joe Joyce will still kill him. But at least that'll be an entertaining fight. But anyone else, man, he's food, man.
I think this
food.
kid must have, back home, he must have a following.
I mean, it's true. He's Nigerian. The
He
dude's,
must.
what, 6'6"?
He must.
You know what I mean? So, like, hey, he probably, maybe that's what they're banking on.
That's what they're banking
Like, he brings a whole different audience that they can capitalize off of.
They're trying to sell some tickets.
So that's what I'm saying. So I can respect that, but his skill set, oh my God, it's. I'm being honest, and I'm trying not to judge him too harshly because he's fairly new. Mm-hmm. So for all we know, he could probably mature and develop into a better, more sound box. I doubt it, but it's a potential, right? I just feel like he needs a new trainer. He needs a new team.
Bronny Shields.
It ain't working. It ain't working. Apparently,
Bronny Shields is a good trader.
yeah, but it ain't working. So sometimes certain
We're
fighters
not
just
talking
don't
about
listen.
Buddy McGurk here. We're talking about Rodney Shields.
But he needs
he
something.
had the
He needs
chance.
Now, if he had Buddy McGurk, he would have lost last time.
Hey, yo, it is crazy though. You literally got dropped by a dude doing a stanky leg. It was crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm just like,
Well, you're more dangerous when you're hurt.
That's true, but he couldn't even see. Like if you see it's just weird. Like,
He just threw a lucky right hand.
yeah, and then he got caught. It wasn't just that hit though. Like, that was a hit that dropped him.
Yeah.
He was getting
He
hit
got
with some
caught
shit,
a
yeah.
lot, a lot. His defense is horrible. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm
But
assuming.
I think he wanted to go in there and slug it out though, and that's why he was getting caught.
I don't
too.
even think he's a slugger though. He's too slow to be even
You
want
know
to
what?
slug it out
That's
like
what he
that.
was doing.
I know what we're doing. I think we're judging him too
harshly. That's what I'm saying, 'cause
that's
he's so
probably what
young.
it is. Cause he's so green, and we just been getting so many the tremendous heavyweight. We just had the fight with AJ, and we're looking at how Tyson Fury and Wilder and all these other guys look. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example.
That's what makes this guy look.
This is what's
so
messed up.
horrible.
Bro, FA is on TV when his resume doesn't justify that yet. You know what I mean? And so you're forcing us to watch him knowing that he's
Not
still a
ready.
baby. And but you're trying to force feed us into liking this guy.
He's only
But he's not it. Yeah, he's just
In
not
11
it.
fights.
Unless, to me, they're like, you know what, we're trying to get that African market. You know, and that's the only way I could see them like really pushing this guy, because he's food, bro. I'm being honest, I don't want to disrespect homie, but Ruiz is gonna kill him.
He's some Jolo, yo.
Dillian White gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? Povetkin will kill him.
Oh, God, please
You know
don't
what I'm saying?
Dillian to murder.
God forbid they put him in with Wilder, bro. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just not fair. Like, shout out to
If
FA.
Wilder
though. I
does
salute
that,
him.
I'll be so mad.
That would be Brazil part 2. That would be Brazil 2.0.
That would be bad,
I'll
man.
be so mad at Wilder. Wilder gonna show up wearing one of the little suits that he wears.
The little Moses gold robe. You know what I mean?
The seashells in his hair.
Right. He might literally had the weave locks. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be terrible. FA Joppa, I wasn't impressed with him. They said he's a former soccer player and he's come to boxing. But I think
Tall ass
a
soccer
lot of
That's what I'm
flaws in his game. And I don't know if they can all be taken care of. But to me, he got dropped by a guy who's on wobbly legs and is 39 years old. And he was trained by Dan Goossen. Prior to that fight, yeah, and so Goossen, they were like, "What are your thoughts on him?" Goossen said everything, but he's here to get knocked out. And then when he dropped a jobber, Goossen was like, "Hey, I could have traded him for the dub, like, in his mind, you know." But nah, realistically, his opponent was 39 years old on his last leg. It was his last hurrah. He fought that way. I mean, he kept getting up, and you heard him when he got hit with a right hand. He is no way he's getting up from this. Yes, there is a way he's getting up from it. He got up.
Yeah.
So like Trill said, I'm more impressed with his opponent, man. I think his opponent went out like a G, and he could say, I dropped that dude, okay? And if the ref would have let it keep going, I would have, you know. But on all seriousness, F.A. Joppa he's not it. Like you said, I don't think he's it.
And
If
just
he is,
because,
I'll give him props.
yeah, and going off of what Caden said, and just because the dude was 39 and he lost to Jaffa, don't think that I'm gonna lose to Canelo. That's all I wanted to put out there. You know what I'm saying? Canelo, come see me, 168.
I got a funny story though. Yesterday when I was watching the fight last night, I was watching it with my son, right? And then I'm thinking, all right, FA got this, whatever. And then when homeboy dropped FA, I just screamed out of nowhere like, yo! My son jumped up and ran upstairs. He was so scared. Like, my wife came down like, what happened? I was like, what's going on? Like, damn, he all snitched.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so Diego the Boss fight, he fought last night. Did anyone catch that?
Nah, I didn't catch it.
It doesn't matter. He knocked out a bum in the second round with a right hand. I was going to get your opinion on it, but basically to summarize, he looked really stiff, really slow. He looked F.A. and Joppa like. They both should probably fight each other. All right, so
honestly, that would be a good fight though. You know what I mean?
Are they both PBC?
the ball knock Joppa out.
Yo,
The
Joppa is.
I know, but what I'm saying is it'd be a good fight. You know
It
what
would be
I'm saying?
entertaining though.
It will be a good fight. Like they look like it's going to be a good
That's
fight.
what I'm saying.
Right? Like,
Good picture.
yeah, it's a good picture of a fight.
For the
Like
level of fighters. it would be-
Jaffe need to go back to being a goalie, because for real, that's the only thing I can see is because this ain't for
Yeah,
him.
man. This is,
Unless
it's a
they're gonna
tough
go and
sport.
try to get some
they
bread.
keep making them fight bums. Like I can't. I think Gerald Washington would beat him. Ryan Jennings would
Yes,
beat him.
yes.
Like I keep
All
thinking
the
of
gatekeepers
Yeah,
will beat
he's
him.
not. He can't beat
not
none of
ready.
those gatekeepers.
Yeah, he's not
like
ready.
I don't see F.A. Joppa as a guy.
I think he needs to like.
Yo,
team up
he
with,
just
like-
has the stature, so they're just looking at him like, yo, he
Because
has that
he
new
look, he has
physique.
the look.
I got it.
Heavyweight division.
I got it.
You know what I mean?
Put him in there with Chris Areola.
Chris would kill him, yo.
I know.
Yeah, I'm,
Chris
I
would
was trying to
kill
help
him.
my man Chris.
Chris would kill him. You know what I mean?
Hey, yo, you know, hold on. If he fought Molina, he might win because Molina didn't look too good in Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? So
Maybe that's a good fight.
Put him
yeah,
in there
he
with.
might be able to get Molina. Let's just be real. He might be able
You
to
know
take
what,
him out. You know what I mean?
No, he's not.
Malik Scott.
Put him in
Malik
there
Scott
with.
will win, bro. I'm being honest.
Stavern.
Malik Scott has too much skills.
Malik can take a
Put him
dive.
in
You
there
know
with
he'll do it.
Stavern.
Stavern will beat. Yo,
Malik.
I'll put respect on Stavern.
Malik.
He'll be Stavern. I'll believe you.
Yeah, you know that. Now, throw to knock him out. You know, Malik Scott will take a dive. Malik
G.
Scott will take a dive.
Hold on. Who's going G out right now?
You hit him on the shoulder, he'll go
Oh,
there.
because he's repping his set right now. You repping Stavern right now?
Yo, listen.
Are you
against,
repping
against
Stavern?
FA? Against FA, I'm repping Stavern.
You rep.
I'll put money on that fight.
You pulling
know what
out
I'm saying?
your Stavern posters?
What was that? What was that Stavern card when he fought? Wow.
Listen, man, yo, listen here, man. We talking about FA. You know what I'm
He
saying?
was on.
We
Yo, he
talking
was
about
with Stavern when he
Yo, I
fought.
forgot that we were still
We
on
on
air.
FA. We on FA right now.
We on air.
There's no way. There is no way. Actually, let me take that back, cause nah.
You don't know what.
Yo, we don't know. Yo,
Stavern's doing right
Wait, hold on. What that say? 30 stone.
Yeah, he's 30 stone right now. Stavern's definitely 30 stone right now.
Silver 30 stone.
If he's 30 stone, then we need to be talking about something.
He got a cool like $2 million in the bank, just chilling, just sitting. He ain't.
Nah, I hope. So we're gonna.
He got 30 million bank. Don King already got
So we
that.
had a
I said
huge,
2 million.
settle down. We had a huge comeback last night. Andre Durrell came back after a 2-year layoff, and he had a 5th round TKO stoppage. And so, what are your thoughts on Andre Durrell coming back to the ring? Do you think he will ever be champion? I'll start this one off with Trill, since he looks very intrigued by this topic.
Durrell, Andre Durrell, he hurts me, right? Because here's a guy, has the look, has the gifts. He's the complete package. He is, I remember when he jumped on the scene, right? We was like, yo, he can win at 160, 168. He can go up to 175. It was promised. He could be 3-time world champion. That's where his skill set was. It was like Andre Ward was number 1 and he was number 2. You know what I'm saying? That's how the conversation was. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say it, man. The universe is crazy. The universe is crazy because here it is. No, for real. This is how it is. He has a brother named Anthony Durrell. And this is crazy. If his brother had his skill and then he had his heart, that's what is messed up. Anthony Durrell got the heart and Andre Durrell got the look, the body, and the skill. If they would have taken Anthony's heart and put it in Andre's body, this would be we would be talking about a
They're
totally...
both in the super middleweight division?
You know, they were at one point.
point.
I think
He
Andre
became
Durrell's 175 now.
now, yeah.
75.
Now,
Let's see what.
he was Andre was supposed to be the champion way before his brother Anthony was supposed to be the champion, and Anthony ended up becoming champion 2 times before his brother even got a chance to be champion 1 time. I'm just gonna say that's it. That's how I feel. I just wish that Andre had his brother's heart. If he had his brother's heart, he'll be undefeated. We'll be talking about him being like a pound for pound great. You know what I'm saying? If he had his brother's heart.
No, I agree. Ned, do you even know who Andre Dirrell is?
No, then I was gonna ask, is he Anthony Dirrell's brother?
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, so.
All right, so moving on. What are your thoughts?
He actually might. He might be able to beat John Pascal. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can see him becoming a champion at 175, bro. You know what I mean? So Pascal's on his way out. So it's
We're going to have to get predictions soon on that fight.
And that's not even for a belt.
Sapa sizzle, you already know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's on his way out. You know what I mean?
So you're saying you think that he may have a shot at winning the belt?
If the only person I can see him actually possibly beating is John Pascal.
Andre?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's
Anthony. You talking about Anthony?
No, we're talking about Anthony.
Andre.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Andre.
Yeah, we're talking about Andre. That's what I'm saying. Anthony already, he just lost. So it's like, yeah, like, this the only way I can see him is the only person. Because, yo,
Pascal don't got a belt though.
yo, Beterbiev, huh?
Pascal don't got a belt.
Nah, he said, they say
No, he got a belt.
Yeah, he got
I thought they gave him away to
the I don't know what the regular light heavyweight champion is. You know what I'm saying? And then we got whatchamacallit says Dominique is the WBA interim light. Yeah, so what's a regular light heavyweight champion?
That's what I'm saying. I was weird.
I
I
don't
don't want
understand
to
what
talk
that
about
is.
it, man. This is weird. There's too many
question.
belts, man.
Because it says Bivol is the I don't understand.
Bivol is but yeah,
Yeah,
he's the
Bivol
champ.
got the chip.
They're
He got a
saying
belt.
both of them got it, but Pascal is the regular light heavyweight champion, the WBA regular.
Yeah, that's it's
I don't even know what that
It's
means.
the world, and then there's a regular.
Well, that's the only way he can become champion.
Can I ask a
Is he beats Pascal. You know
As a
what I mean?
casual Boston fan, what are all these belts like? I see in
They're
Iran.
Yo, that's a whole different.
I see.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, that's a
Next
whole. We're
round.
gonna be all in here talking mess if we have to do a podcast on that.
Alright.
That'll be a 2-hour special podcast.
So
on
there's
this.
only 4 belts in every division, but we got 1 million belts in every division, though, right?
This is man. We got
It's only
exactly.
4 belts for every division, but we got 1 million belts in every division.
Yeah, basically, because there's interim belts, there's silver belts, there's a bronze belt I just heard about, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and another thing, technically there's 5 because they're not even factoring in the IBO. You know what I'm saying? Or was it IBO? What's the position?
IBF,
The IBO, that's
The IBO.
but they call that the European belt, I guess.
Yeah, but that's the only one that they're not.
There are a lot of belts out there. So I'll just jump in. I think Andre Dirrell really bothers me too because I remember when the Super 6 tournament was announced. I believe there was Andre Dirrell, Andre Ward, Mikael Kessler, Arthur
Froch.
Abraham, Carl Froch, and Alan Green. And I remember thinking, this is going to come down to Andre Dirrell and Andre Ward. I just remember thinking that. And I remember Andre Ward winning, and I remember Andre Dirrell winning this fight. But then I remember one of the biggest robberies I've seen was when they robbed Andre Dirrell and they gave the decision to Carl Froch. I thought Andre Dirrell won that night, and that was his first loss of his career. And I thought it was a robbery. Then I remember Andre Dirrell fighting Arthur Abraham, and he was outboxing Arthur Abraham. Although it did seem like Abraham was starting to close the distance and catch up to Andre Dirrell. Then they got into an exchange. Andre Dirrell was on the floor, and Arthur Abraham hit Andre Dirrell while he was on the floor, and he knocked him out cold. When he came to, he was crying. He was very, distorted. He didn't seem to have like his wits about him, and his brother Anthony Dirrell was real frustrated with him. He was like crying.
Stop acting like a.
He was like, I just kept saying, I got dropped, man. I got dropped.
Yeah.
He was crying, and I was like, man, like this looks really bad. And I don't ever think he really recovered from that night.
Not at all.
And so it sucks because he never panned out to be the boxer that I thought, like Trill said, we thought this guy was going to be it. and he never lived up to it. And I think it eats at him. And I think it's what drives him to come back. He feels like if I could just gain this title, I won't be a bust. Because you know how like QBs will get drafted early, or a basketball player who gets drafted early doesn't live up to the hype. We call him a bust. If there was ever a bust in boxing, it would be Andre Dirrell. And I think like he was once spoken in the same breath as Andre Ward. Like when the Super 6 tournament came, Trill and I used to be like, we hope they don't have to fight each other. But we thought it was going to that point. There was even a moment in the Super 6 where they found like a younger photograph of the both of them. Like, and then like, oh, it's crazy, we might have to fight each other. Because that's where everyone thought it was going. But as you see, Andre Ward was able to capture the #1 pound for pound spot in the sport, and Dirrell hasn't been a champion in his career. So I think he feels like time's running out. I need to validate my career, what I dedicated my life to. I don't want to go down in history as a bust. You know, I would love to see him get a title shot again. Yeah. Do I think he can win? I don't really know.
Especially at this 175. There actually is 4 guys that got, Arthur Benavidez got the IBF and the WBC. Canelo had the WBO, but he just vacated that. And then Demetrius Bivol had the WBA. Pascal doesn't have the world belt. He has a regular belt underneath that. And for him to win a belt against Arthur Benavidez or Demetrius Bivol, I agree with you, bro. I don't think he can do it, man. Yeah. And it's sad because everything you said, and it eats at him too, is because he was the star. It was him. It wasn't Anthony. He was the star. He was the one that was supposed to be it. Anthony was the kid with the cancer, had the gun charge. Was, you know what I'm saying? Was the bad one. But he's the dog. You know what I'm saying?
Ask, being a casual boxing fan, why did he take a 2-year layoff?
He was losing. He was losing bad. He was losing bad, and he got into a fight with a guy. The first fight they had, it ended up with his uncle throwing a sucker punch on the other opponent, and they did a rematch, and this guy came out and was beating on him. It was so bad that they made an excuse for him. Like, no, I'm stopping the fight.
Like, Jose Uzcategui, I can't say his name, but yeah. So Jose beat him in a decision victory, and then in the rematch, it was bad. But the sucker punch
from the uncle.
Yeah, actually he won. That's the one he won. It was a disqualification. Yeah,
he won on that one, but he was supposed to lose that one.
Jose Uzcategui, I think his name is. And so, but I'm gonna be real. It was a sucker punch. Mm-hmm. But he turned that left hook over. The uncle turned that left hook over, boy. He turned that. I was like, damn, he turned it over on him. I said, yo, that guy could take a shot, man, because he that was a left hook if I ever seen one. But yeah, I see even Andre Dirrell, he'll probably outbox those guys for like 4 or 5 rounds, and then they'll catch him, and then it'll be all over. All right, so Timothy Bradley went on his rant about no one fighting Terrence Crawford. Danny Garcia actually called him out and said, Timothy Bradley never crossed the street. Mm-hmm. How's he calling someone out if he never crossed the street? Mm-hmm.
He kept his butt at HBO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he fought all top rank fighters. Mm-hmm. And so Danny points out a good point. He never crossed the street. But the WBO ranks Danny Garcia as the #1 contender now. And Sergey Lipinets is the #2 contender. So what's your reaction to Danny Garcia saying, 1, Timothy Bradley, for all the trash he's talking, never crossed the street? And 2, your thoughts on the WBO ranking Danny Garcia as the #1 contender for the belt? Starts one off with G.
Well, first thing, Timothy Bradley, man, I don't even believe I don't think, because it seems too hypocritical. And I remember when he was saying it, you remember Ward's face. Ward had that, calm down, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I be thinking like maybe the higher ups are telling him, we need you to say this, because it doesn't make sense for a guy who stayed at HBO, never left. He never wanted to fight anybody in Showtime. So it doesn't even make sense for him to go so hard at these guys being at PBC. And it just seems too hypocritical. So I don't necessarily believe him. But if I'll say I'll entertain. Maybe he means it because Terrence is his boy, so he's just going hard for his mans. But I don't know, man. I'm being honest with you. I think people are putting too much energy into into Timothy Bradley. Even though I'm being truthful, he's probably one of my favorite commentators because he always makes me laugh. You know what I mean? But outside of that, even when he did that, I was laughing. But I was like, this dude's just a clown. So it's like, I think that I look at him as comedic relief for Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? So
WBO ranking Danny Garcia #1.
So now, I think that's a good thing because hopefully they can make him a mandatory for TC and then have that fight. You know what I mean? So I think that's dope. But to be honest with you, I honestly believe they're gonna have what's his name? Porter. I think they're gonna have Porter. Porter's gonna be the first PBC fighter to fight Crawford. To be honest with you, like I think it's easier. They're friends. I think they're just gonna make that happen. Before Danny actually gets a chance.
Kenny said yesterday they didn't give him a call. He said they had a talk. Give me the call. Kenny said he's waiting on the call.
See, so it sounds like it's gonna. If they want it, it can happen. So
true.
Let me hold this, Caden. This is when fanboying goes wrong. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Fanboy, Timothy Bradley. That's when fanboy goes wrong. You know how it is when groupies be. They start talking weird, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know how girls, it was like one time, you know what I'm saying, seeing the girls that was talking about boy bands and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's a female trait. You know what I mean? Like, they go on and be like, oh, yeah, and you know what? And then, Bobby Brown, he spun around and jumped off stage and then helicopter and got back on there. Yeah, but it wasn't like nothing like how when Usher did. You know what I'm saying? That's how Timothy Bradley reminded me of. He was saying stuff that was out of worldly, stuff that wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why I went in on Fanboy Bradley is because... Yeah, Fanboy Bradley. The reason why I went in on her is because, you know what I'm saying? She has a platform to the world. On ESPN, to the world, to the casual boxers. You got everybody out here, even people that ain't probably never even seen a Earl or a Danny or one of these guys fight. You know what I'm saying? They probably tuned in for the first time. You got them thinking that these other guys over here scared of this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You always been a sucker over there. Like, we know what it is. Like, I rooted for you. You know what I'm saying? In the fight against Pacquiao, when we thought that you won, I thought that you out-pointed Pacquiao. It was your team over there at Top Rank that was saying, no, you lost. It made you get in there again with this guy. Of course, it was a good payday for you, but, they treated you like a sucker. Had you thinking that your win was a loss. And then you're going to go over here and defend these guys? There's so many names that I want to call you, man, but I'm going to keep this professional because I know that there's kids listening. You know what I'm saying? But Fanboy Bradley, look, you can keep your integrity, right? You can do a job without having to what's the word I'm looking for? You can do your job, without you can definitely do your job without brown nosing or putting down other fighters in a false way and in a way of making these guys feel like they're cowards. None of these guys is cowards. They're warriors. Y'all cowards over there. Won't you step, like Danny said, won't you go out of retirement and fight Terrence Crawford?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The porch,
you know what I'm saying? You calling these guys cowards over here? These guys is warriors. These guys over here.
We got your ad-lib over here.
You already know what it is. Chuck D and Flavor Flav in full effect. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen.
Off that.
You know what I'm saying? I can't believe he called these guys like, oh, y'all need to put y'all big boy pants on. What? You need to pull your skirt down. For real. You know what I'm saying? For real. You definitely need to, because that was out of line, yo. And you need to have more class. Even Andre looking at you like you wow.
Looking at you crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You like you wow. You done lost your mind. You ain't even that dude, yo. You ain't even that dude. You know what I'm saying? I gave you respect as a black man and you know what I'm saying? And being a champion or whatever, but you really ain't that dude. Who you fought? Who you fought? You went life and death with, what's my man from Siberia? You know what I'm saying? That concussed you. No, what was his name? Provodnikov. You know what I'm saying? That's your toughest fight.
Side note, Trill always abuses this guy.
Ain't gonna be the last.
One time Trill was trying to have a conversation with me about the fighter, about Provodnikov, and I was like, he was abusing his name so badly, I'm like, I couldn't picture the guy. He said, you know who I'm talking about? I said, what are you talking about? She was like, Bragomov. Bragomov. I'm like, yo, I don't know Bragomov. I'm like, you mean Provodnikov?
Bragomov.
Say Loma's name.
Lomachenko, whatever, Lomachenko. Yeah, I got it. But yeah, Bragomov, whatever. When he fought a Bragomov, that's your claim to fame. You know
Also known as Provodnikov.
Who you fought? We know you as being the head butter. That's who you are. You went down as that's who you are. You went down in history as being the head butter. That's who you are. He a head buster for real. That's how you beat Devin Alexander, and that's your biggest win. Was Devin Alexander from the headbutt? You headbutt everybody. Everybody knows when you get in the ring, they fight in three things. Not only your fist, they fight in your head too. So watch how you talking. Like you was that dude, man. You wasn't that dude. For real.
You know what? I really respected this Trill rant.
Yeah, all right, Trill.
It was
Anything else
really
to say?
entertaining. Nah, it was really entertaining.
I just want to know if you done. Because I don't want to mess this up. So if you got more to say, let me know.
And Mac on it. Yo, no, for real. Another thing is, too, I'm sick and tired of people. Like, he needs to stop this because the average people, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to everybody else. Shout outs to Andre Ward, too, because he gives great commentary. I'm sick of people in these commentaries thinking that they got to pick sides. You don't have to pick sides. You has never been that dude, yo. You ain't never took a risk. You ain't never. Look at your life, man. Look at your life, man.
Moving on now.
I was going to get personal.
Don't do it to him.
I was going to talk about him, how he was disloyal to Joel Ortiz, who got him to where he needed to be. You know what I'm saying? You married his sister. His sister was managing you. You wasn't the man. You was like, he brought you in and made you a champion. You dig what I'm saying? You didn't go out there. You wasn't like you was that dude. You was a cornball. You dig what I'm saying? You was the cornball. You know what I'm saying? That's who you was. He made you champion. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to your dad, because I don't even see him around no more. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? So get yourself right, and then work on and work on trying to solidify your legacy before you start trying to call people cowards. You're gonna call Danny Garcia and Earl Spence and Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. You're gonna call these guys out? Won't you call them out and say you want to fight them? You coward. You ran from AB. AB wanted to put hands on you. AB wanted to put hands on you.
I knew AB was coming out.
AB wanted to put hands on you because you talk. You talk too much.
You talk about Pacquiao. Pacquiao already beat you, bro.
I'm done with my Timothy Bradley, fanboy Bradley.
Nah, you know what? I think that is spot on. I agree with majority of your points, 100%. And
I'm fuming over
I
here.
would just like to add a few things. One would be, Timothy Bradley, I heard you say that you believe that Terrence Crawford would beat Floyd Mayweather in his prime.
No, he did not
Yeah,
say
he said
that.
that.
He
What?
didn't.
I
He
didn't
didn't.
hear that.
He needs to be fired.
Now he fanboying.
Fanboy Bradley.
Now he fanboying hard body. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Fanboy Bradley. Like he is. Yo, this
That's
is what I'm
groupie
trying.
status.
This
That's
is.
groupie
You
status.
see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's groupie status.
He is
Now you
really.
got your
He is really out of date. This is what it sound like when he went on that rant. It sound like a delusional fan. You know what I'm saying? You know how when the ladies go and talk about a guy that they like. I done heard plenty of girls talk about Trey Songz. That's how he sounded talking about Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He goes home. You know, he looks like he hastened home. He goes home.
You were running around telling anyone who would listen about this kid Terrence Crawford before anyone knew who he was. Now he's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. According to me, it's close between him and Lomachenko, but I got Crawford #1. What do you think about his upcoming fight?
You know, this Calvin Velasquez kid that he's going to be facing, I've seen him in the past. You know, the Mean Machine, I've seen him in the past. He has punching power. He's deadly. You know, he can catch Terrence Crawford. You know, but I have to say this, man. Terrence Crawford right now is the best fighter that I have seen in recent years, in past years. He's a throwback fighter. I'm talking about back with Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm talking about back with Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm talking about, you know, Mayweather. I'm talking about all the top guys that came before us. Terrence Crawford, to me, is in that category. He can fight off the back foot. He can fight off the front foot. The guy can fight from southpaw position like he is a natural southpaw, but he's really not. He's actually a right-hander. You know, there's nothing that Terrence Crawford can't do. And also, Max, you know, he's mean. He's mean like a Pernell Whitaker.
He's mean.
He wants to knock you
He's
out.
mean.
He wants to inflict pain
he's so
into his
mean.
opponent. And I feel that his upcoming fight, I think he's going to be able to display that once again. Why he's the best fighter on the planet. Well, money have him there. I don't, because he hasn't had a chance to prove it yet, because none of these guys want to face him. I'm just going to say, these guys don't want to face him.
When you say Calvin Velasquez could catch
Yes,
him,
because he don't.
catch him,
Is it
catch
these
him
guys
what?
don't want to face
Not
him, or
in
he
the
don't
ring
want to
with a
face
punch.
these
He
guys? It's a
barely got
two-way
through Ray
street.
Robinson, and I'm
You
not
know what I'm
talking
saying?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
This
That
is
was a
coming
draw, and
from,
he could have gotten the
Ray
other way.
Robinson,
Timothy just sounds like
Ray
he
Robinson
ain't
is a
going,
difficult
yo.
opponent
He's
now,
a
Max.
solid guy.
He's difficult. He's awkward. No, he's awkward. You know, he's long. He's a southpaw. He's very awkward.
Okay, he's a
Chills.
But he's not Terrence Crawford. I get that. He's not Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford, no one does southpaw better than him. You know,
By the way,
Better than him.
throwback,
He
so-
does sound like, you know, arguing about a boy band.
Terrence Crawford is the best
can't do
switcher
southpaw better.
since Marvin
the
Hagler.
best switcher. Absolutely. And I think he might even be better than Marvin Hagler.
Oh my God.
At switching, yes. Better than
Oh
Marvin
my
Hagler.
God.
And you know, and let me tell you one more thing, man, Max. Seriously. If I could take a prime Terrence Crawford, this is how much I believe in this kid, and a prime Floyd Mayweather, all the tools that Terrence Crawford has, I will pick Terrence Crawford to beat a prime Mayweather any day of the week.
He ain't never watched Corrales and Floyd Mayweather fight.
All right, so
because that's how it would be.
I just had to play that because
Corrales versus Floyd Mayweather fight. I'm telling everybody to go watch that fight because that's what that Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather in their prime would be. That's what that fight would be. You don't dare you talk that blasphemy.
all right, so I just reclaim my time real
Go
quick.
ahead, get that.
Yeah. So check this out. You just said you can't say he's the best.
Oh yeah, we
because-
sorry too because we said we thought you was bullshit. I know we apologize, Danny. I know. He was like, what? we thought you was just talking out of your mind. Like, hey, all right, we get it. He's crazy, bro.
I wish I was.
I said, I get it. We jumping on Tim Bradley, but damn.
He's selling it. Nah, check it out. He said he can't say that Timothy Bradley's the best because no one wants to fight him, right? However, you just said he could beat the best, right? And it's like, my man's fanboying to the point where it's like ridiculous, but I just had to stop and think and say, well, you know what, Timothy Bradley, since you want to make it like a real thing and talk, let's talk. One, Timothy Bradley never fought anyone who wasn't under Top Rank's banner. Every guy he fought was a Top Rank guy, right? And when you look at the notable names on his resume, he beat Manny Pacquiao, right?
And they made you tell yourself that you lost.
Yep, he beat Manny Pacquiao. He beat Devin Alexander. He beat
Headbutted him.
He beat Ruslan Provondnikov.
That was you got concussed in that
He
fight.
beat Juan Manuel Marquez.
I give you that one. Marquez was drained.
He had a split decision draw with Diego Gabriel Chavez.
Should have lost.
He beat Jesse Vargas. And he beat Brandon Rios. Those are notable names on his resume. Oh, Lamont Peterson's on his resume as well.
Not Chris Algieri.
Is Chris Algieri?
Chris
I don't
Algieri
see
probably
Chris
would've-
Algieri.
Probably beat him.
So, that's your resume, bro. Your resume is the time you beat Manny Pacquiao. You know who else beat Manny Pacquiao? Jeff Horn. Does that put him in a class with Manny Pacquiao? Hell no. Just like Timothy Bradley, you're not in a class with Manny Pacquiao.
And I remember that Brandon Rios fight because I'm a huge fan of Brandon Rios, and that's my guy. Brandon cried because he didn't get the proper time to train. And he was in the ring, he was crying like, yo, I really want a chance to really, really train and get a chance to really come in here with a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? They called him with 3 weeks in. We could look at anybody, Google that fight, and hear how disappointed Brandon Rios was. Cried in that fight. He said, yo, I just want a chance to win. Give me a chance of time so I can really train and go in there and win.
Now, I remember Timothy Bradley when there were talks about who Lamont Peterson, yeah, you got Lamont at a good time to beat Lamont.
That headbutt.
And yeah, you got Devin Alexander.
He headbutted Devin Alexander.
Those are two fights I'll give you. Ruslan Provodnikov, you were concussed, just knocked out, whatever. That's the quality, that's the level you're on, though. But let's talk about a guy named Floyd Mayweather. Yo, bro, like
he shouldn't even have mentioned Floyd.
I could start with so many victories, but I'll just start at this point. Floyd Mayweather beat Juan Manuel Marquez before you did, brother, and he did it better. Marquez didn't even put gloves on him barely.
And was drinking pee.
You know what I'm saying? And Marquez was drinking pee for that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, yo.
So that's missing. Shane Mosley. How come you never fought Shane Mosley, Timothy Bradley? I just want to know.
You don't fight real fighters.
Inquiring minds want to know why you never fought Shane Mosley. He was around.
And he fight everybody.
He's from your time. You can't tell me Shane didn't want to fight because Shane's the one guy who fought everybody.
And he goes to everywhere. He'll go to every network
Shane.
to fight you, from HBO to Showtime.
Cool. I'm gonna let you go when not fighting Shane. Miguel Cotto. How come you never fought him?
He was on the same network.
Miguel Cotto's a dog. Miguel Cotto fight anybody.
He was with Bob.
How come you never fought Miguel Cotto, Timothy? Because you that guy, right? You took all the big fights. You never fought Miguel Cotto. Why not? Yeah. I just want to know. He would have loved to take that fight. You never fought Canelo Alvarez. How come you never? And once again, Floyd not only fought Canelo Alvarez, he schooled him. Gave him a lesson that he's applying today as the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. But Timothy, how come you never fought him? I just want to know. Marcos Maidana. How come you never fought him? You that dude, right? You that dude. How come you never fought him? See, this is what I'm talking about. When you got people running your mouth, it calls into question your resume and what you've done. Danny Garcia's already done more than you've done.
Exactly.
Don't let Danny Garcia beat Manny Pacquiao. Don't let Earl Spence beat Manny Pacquiao because they would already surpass your legacy.
Danny's resume surpasses his resume way already. I don't even know why they talk about
Danny done already done things.
The guys, those welterweights that y'all called out, their resume is way better than Terrence Crawford. This is where Fanboy Bradley is leaving out. She forgot to say that the guys over there at PBC, you know what I'm saying, their resumes is better than her boyfriend's. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? And there's no disrespect to TC because I like TC and I think that TC is a great fighter.
We actually called TC out years ago too, bro. But see, the one thing I can't stand, because I'll be real, Trill picked Wilder. Back when it was who was going to be the guy, when it was Seth Mitchell, Chris Arreola, Deontay Wilder, Trill picked Wilder. He's the one who picked Wilder. But he don't fanboy for Wilder at this table because that's not what we do.
Not at all.
We picked Terrence Crawford a long time ago. We said this dude's going to be a star.
Before anybody knew who he was. Before they was calling him TC.
But we don't do. But what we don't do is fanboy. So now y'all turning him into this indestructible boogeyman, and he's not that. Just like that. Wilder's not that, he's not that. But we're not talking about Wilder right now. But the point I'm trying to make is we can spot someone from the beginning and tell the truth. Timothy, you could be like, yo, I like this guy from the jump. Give him an opportunity. He deserves an opportunity. I think he would be competitive. When you say he would beat Floyd in his prime,
Yeah, he disqualified himself.
he would be
Yeah.
Floyd in his prime. You compare him a better switch fighter than Marvelous Marvin Hagler? Do you know where I'm from? I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. Don't you ever disrespect a fighter from Boston like that again, you fool.
He's crazy. He was crazy.
How dare you?
You ever watch a Hagler fight? You ever
Hagler
watch
would
a
knock
Hagler
your head
fight?
smooth off.
You wasn't. You
Oh,
wanted
my
to be a
God.
Hagler. You wanted to be the next Hagler. You wasn't Hagler. Man, listen.
Oh my God.
Hagler beat my guy. Hagler beat my guy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know my guy is from Detroit. Thomas the Hitman Hearns.
Hitman Hearns would knock Timothy Bradley out in 4 rounds
on,
or
man.
less. Are you kidding me, bro?
Oh,
like
man.
seriously, this is the type of stuff. Like I said,
He ain't happy with his house. That's what. It's the only thing. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? He's over there. You know what I'm saying? His wife's running the household over there. She's bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? And Tim's intimidated. So the only time he can talk on the mic is when he gets over there. He needs to be suspended. After that fucking comment saying that Crawford could beat a Floyd in his prime, that's like Ronda Rousey saying that she can beat Floyd.
Did you hear the list he put him in? Sugar Ray Robinson.
Robinson.
Put him on a list with
You're
Sugar
crazy.
Ray Robinson.
I sat around for like, what was it? I forgot what it was when I was just sitting around watching old Sugar Ray Robinson films. I was like, I don't know why. Like, I got addicted to YouTube. And I was like, I said, is it YouTube making him this fast?
He could beat Ray Robinson. Are you a clown?
Yeah, he's
Are you a
crazy.
clown? And see, this is what I mean. It's one thing to sell a fight. It's one thing to promote. It's one thing to pump up your fighter. It's one thing to do it. It's another thing to just start saying disrespectful stuff. Like Timothy Bradley, man, go somewhere. And G, you say he's your favorite commentator. He's my least favorite commentator.
Commentator,
He's
yeah.
the commentator that I've seen that there's been George Foreman.
Bring back Larry Merchant.
Yeah. Larry Merchant is a journalist. I'm saying in terms of fighters. There's been George Foreman, Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver, Lennox Lewis, Sugar Ray Leonard,
Andre Ward.
Andre Ward.
Yeah.
He's the worst. Sergio Mora.
Yeah.
He's the
Latin
worst
snake.
boxer commentator that
Paulie.
I've ever heard call a fight. Paulie. He's the worst.
No, y'all right. I'm literally saying, I listen to him.
You like him because he's the worst.
I listen to him, I'm like, yo, this dude was a
Bro,
wild boy.
why does he have a job? Seriously. He is not good. Like, it's very difficult to listen to
he
Tim
gets-
Bradley
'cause he
call
wants
a
to get
fight.
along.
Yo, I'd rather hear Teddy Atlas call every day. For real. It's corruption. Corruption, people. In boxing. We need a commission. I love this sport. I'd rather hear that. I'd rather hear that than hear Timothy, man, for real. All right, so we're going to have to wrap this up, right?
No, I just want to say y'all both took an X-Lax and unleashed on Timothy Bradley.
For himself.
He did it to himself. That was incredible, yo.
Like,
I've been waiting for this moment.
we can tell. All right, so there's the only thing left to do. I just throw this boxing news out there. One, I observed that Angel Garcia was not on stage at the Danny Garcia press conference. We were going to talk about it, but for the sake of time, we'll just move on. Another thing, Caleb Plant announced that he's going to have his next fight on February 15th on 2020. So I just want to throw that out there because I know that everyone here, we're interested in what Caleb Plant does next. I'll actually go around real quick because we have to give our predictions for the fights coming up next weekend. So I'll go around the table real quick on this one. Dillian White said he's going to punch Deontay Wilder when he sees him. What are your thoughts on that? I'll start off with G since G seems to...
Man, Dillian White wouldn't did, man. Tell Dillian White stay over there in the UK and watch himself, man. I doubt he's gonna put him. I don't even believe that trash talking anyway. It's just pointless, man. Next.
All right, Ned.
100, bruv. Do it, bruv.
Trill.
It was cute.
Exactly.
Poor Dillian. But I love the energy. Because he should have been fighting for that WBC belt.
I believe it, Brev. I believe it, Brev. He's saying your man is so sweet when he see him.
You gonna beat him.
He ain't gonna do none of that.
You know
It's
what?
all
He's
talk.
not going to hit him because he knows that's going to ruin the fight.
Thank you. So you're
but
not
what
gonna-
I think he is going to do is create a scene, Shannon the Cannon Briggs style.
Which he
You know what I'm
should.
saying? He
He
should
should,
definitely.
yeah.
He should definitely. But I think like these guys at that level, they have to be smart enough to know that they can't hit each other. It's just like that's giving away. That's
many
that's
millions
ruining-
involved.
Yeah,
This is
exactly,
millions
exactly.
involved,
And Wilder's good with it. Like if you see Wilder and you roll up on him and y'all do that trash talking, Wilder's good with that. Wilder done it with Shannon. He likes that. He understands like the value of doing it. But like, you know, saying you're gonna put hands on someone, as long as he doesn't do it, I don't care. All right, so now what we have is prediction time. We'll start off with the co-main event. Jean Pascal versus Badu Jack. Who you got? Start this one off with Trill.
I don't got a dog in that fight. Nah, I'm playing. I gotta go with my man Badu Jack, man. I came in with Badu Jack, even though I appreciate Jean Pascal. I like Jean Pascal outside the ring. I don't like him inside the ring. And in Badu Jack, I like him inside the ring, not outside the ring. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna go for Badu Jack.
This fight's taking place inside the ring. So I like Badu Jack.
Yeah.
All right, Ned.
Not too familiar with Badu Jack again, but I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna ride with the home team. It's gonna be Team IET, yo.
What's the home team?
Oh,
What's
that
IET,
Haiti.
dog?
Haiti,
Yeah,
yo, shout
I
out
don't
to
know
you.
what you
I'm
about
with the
to
Haitian
say.
squad, yo. Whatever. Slap yourself, G. Hater.
G.
Well, obviously I'm going with Jean Pascal, and the reason why, you know what I mean? Unlike this guy, you know what I mean? I actually like Jean Pascal with his wobbly leg self, but I think he's still gonna knock him out with a left hook, probably by like I'll say round 9 knockout by left hook.
Do you think they're on the same level, like as far as like It's an honest question. Right?
Oh no! It's to be honest with you, Pascal might lose, but
No,
I'm rolling with the
so
squad.
you think? Oh yeah, you just rolling with your guy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you
saying?
know how I do.
Yo, shout out to Haiti. Shout out to Haiti. Stop
You know how I do.
Stop I say all day.
Come on, how
You
many
know what I'm
predictions we
saying?
done did?
Yeah.
Y'all should know by now how I roll. You know
You
what I'm saying?
already
So
know.
I'm going with Pascal left hook 8th round.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually like Jean Pascal and I like Badu Jack. I like them both inside and outside the ring, though. The thing is, Jean Pascal is
Too nice of a guy for me. You know? He's like a real good guy. I'm a bit of an asshole.
but you know what I like about Badu was like Shannon and Keenan got into it with one of the guys from the Mayweather Club, like right around Badu Jack. And Badu Jack was just chilling, like, it is what it is, bro. And Shannon's like, I like you. I don't know him. You my guy. I don't know him. Badu Jack's like that dude was just like, whatever, clowns, fight it out. Like both of y'all come see me later. Like I think Badu Jack's also the one who squashed it later. He's like that dude. That's why I like Badu Jack. Badu Jack kind of reminds me of myself in those moments. Like I'm like, yo, anybody touch me, they're dead. Other than that, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I like Badu Jack and I like Jean Pascal. But Jean Pascal's style is like a bad version of Roy Jones.
Yeah.
It's like irky jerky, reflex based. And the problem with his reflexes is he gets cracked a lot, bro. Like, yo, you don't got those reflexes
He
like
ain't
that.
got the legs like he used to.
He's not
Yeah.
technically sound.
And that's what's made him. That's when we was messing with him. His legs. He don't got them no more.
Yeah.
He don't
It's
got
like
he don't got the
stable,
legs,
yeah.
and like I said, I don't think he has. Like,
He still look young.
he's a bad version of Roy Jones. Oh yeah, in terms of looks, he got like, you know what I'm saying. He still look fresh,
got
but
the
he just
fountain
don't.
youth, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
he just
saying?
you can tell
But
he
inside
takes,
he's not.
You can tell he take care of himself.
Yeah.
But like the problem is. He never had the skills, and that's the thing I try to tell people. When you don't develop boxing skills, it's like when you see them videos of the old heads knocking out them young boys. When they challenge them to a street fight, they're like, "Come on, boy,
Yes,
put them up," and then they knock
put
them
up
out,
your
right?
dukes.
But like those old guys have technique, so they know But regardless of how old
That's
they
got all
get,
power,
they
dog.
go.
We ain't going there for technique. We going there for a knockout. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, like the comedian Bruce, you know, big guy Bruce, you know, from the
Let
song
Bruce,
Bruce, yeah.
with no neck.
Bruce was telling about a joke, like how when his grandfather fought like one of his cousins, right? And his grandma was like, "No, you're too old." He said, "No, we getting it on." Right? Said his grandfather bust his cousin up. Said his grandma was like, "Why'd you do that?" He said, "Every time he drop his hand, I hit him with the jab." Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, just like some technical skills that stay with you for the rest of your life, right? And Bottle Jack's very technical, and Jean Pascal's not. So what I have is a technical boxer versus someone who's athletic. I expect Pascal to be very competitive in like the first 3 to 4 rounds, but I expect Bottle Jack to get control of the fight, win a decision, or stop Pascal late. That's what I see for the fight. So moving on to the main event of the evening. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Uriorkis Baby Caden Gamboa. Although he's older than me, so a lot older than me. Actually, I don't know how he's baby.
He old head Caden. You know what I mean?
Grandpa Caden.
OG Caden.
Although if I look like him at that age, I'll take it.
I'll take it. This dude is just
I'll
shape,
take
man.
it. I'll take it. And he's older than what they saying
that's
he
what I'm
is
saying.
too.
That's
So
crazy.
I'll take it. All right, Trill, what's your prediction on that? You want me to make G go first? I don't want to make you predict first, because G might steal your prediction. Although I have a feeling that this one is unanimous.
I think we all agree on that.
It's Tank.
Our prediction should be based upon which round. That's
No,
what it should be.
I know. I got Tank. I got Tank gonna win this fight. Youth is gonna play a part in this. The problem is Tank can't go in here wild. The problem is the person that's gonna beat Tank is a guy who shoots straight down the middle. And when the guy that beats Tank, when he beat him, is gonna be by knockout. You know what I'm saying? And Gamboa is not the guy to do it, but he can do an upset if Tank goes in there thinking that, oh, this is just a old shot fighter. Because the last thing to go on a fighter is his power, you know what I'm saying? And Gamboa puts people on his butt. You know what I'm saying? And he hurt TC at a weight class he wasn't even supposed to be at. And now he's going back down to a weight that suits him. If Tank plays around, he can get caught and get put on his pants. So I'm telling Tank, don't play around, and you can take this fight. And I'm going for Tank, but Tank gotta be smart. He gotta be smart. And another thing I want to put out, I know it has nothing to do with nothing, but I think that Tank has actually gotten better since he went with Coach Cunningham and he trained down there. I think he's tightened up things. And I actually had beef with Coach Cunningham because I always said that Coach Cunningham can get you to the show, but once you get there, you need somebody more experienced. But I think that Tank has been doing really, really good with Coach Cunningham. So shout out to Stephen Cunningham. And out there, I heard that you moved your gym down to Florida and all that. That's so dope. And you brought all your fighters down there from Ohio, Cleveland, and Ohio and stuff like that. And I think that's so dope also.
And I just want to pull the Trills. Shout out to SS Cunningham. All right.
I'm going OG Caden getting knocked out in the
I'm
8th round.
about to say, whoa.
Yeah.
Thought he was about to-
You don't ever say Caden and get knocked out.
Oh, my bad.
Wash your mouth.
OG Caden. OG.
Nah, but yeah, yo, to be honest, I'm going to say I got Tank by obviously knockout. I'm going to say round 5. And I seen like the footage of Gamboa. He still got his speed, you know, but, it's age, man. And so I don't know if he can maintain that speed for much long. I think he'll give us a good solid like 3-4 rounds where he's showing like his old self. But that age, man, they saying he's like 37. So that to me means like he's like 42. You know what I'm saying? So I think his age is gonna show in that fight, and then Tank's gonna capitalize. The stronger, younger fighter, he's gonna catch him. And I think Tank is gonna probably like hit him a couple times in the body to slow him down, and then go for the KO.
Tank is little, but Tank got some pop. Like Tank got power. So he does. Like I've been watching this little dude. I'm like
Little
this
Ninja Turtle.
Dude weigh 160. This dude weigh 160. What's going on? Nah, Tank and pop, man. Gamboa is very athletic. He's very gifted, but he's shown that he gets caught after a certain point. I think Cuban style, a lot of these amateurs, they're just used to fighting a bunch of amateur fights. I think the downside to that is amateur fights are 4 rounds, you know. So after 6, they lose concentration, they lose focus, they lose technique. That's what I'm observing anyway. I'm not trying to knock anything. That's just my observation, and I'm someone who's been watching boxing as long as I've been living. So I think I'm qualified to say that. It reminds me of like Luis Ortiz in his fights with Wilder. He was ahead, he slacked, and he got caught. And Gamboa has that same tendency. You look at Rigondeaux versus like other fighters. I think there's something with the way the Cubans are trained where it's all about amateur, and not enough about when they go pro, mainly because they have to defect to go pro. So I do see Gamboa being very competitive early, possibly even winning the fight at the time he gets knocked out. So that's my prediction. Gervonta Davis by knockout.
What round?
You doing rounds?
shoot, we
I'm
might as
a
well
round
just
guy,
make it-
but I do
yeah,
think
make
it'll
it
be after
interesting.
6. It'll be like 7 or 8. He'll get knocked out.
It's going down. I don't have no predictions. I just know that he's getting knocked out.
You ain't gonna have Trill
You know what I'm
make those
saying?
predictions.
Nah, for real. 'cause-
Shout out to Tim Bradley.
But I do know, Fanboy Bradley, you know what I'm saying? I want to apologize, you know what I'm saying, for calling you a woman. You know what I'm saying? I just said it was real woman-like, so I want to apologize to Fanboy Bradley. I didn't mean that.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a woman. We love
But
women.
yeah, we love women. But and I didn't want to offend you by calling you a woman. But I was really trying to be disrespectful with everything else. So I take that one thing out, but I meant everything else I said. This is gonna be a good week of boxing. We got Badu Jack versus Pascal and Tank versus Gamboa.
Tell Timothy to come up to 168.
Yo, it's been a good year for boxing.
It's been a beautiful year for boxing.
man.
We're gonna have to sue. We're gonna have to put in our fights of the year, what we think is the fights of the year.
true.
And you know what I'm saying? And then end it off with that's where our category is. That's what we're gonna have Caden do. We're gonna have Caden set it up. That we're gonna set up. Our knockout of the year,
Knockout of the year. Fight
fight
of the year.
prospect of the year,
Ducker of the year.
pound for pound of the year.
You don't want that. Cat.
Excuse of the year. Excuse of the year. You know what I mean?
All right,
We gonna put it together.
Next week we coming with our categories. Boxing Bros categories: Fight of the Year, Ducker of the Year. Let's nominate someone for Ducker of the Year. Let's do that.
We got covered. We can 5 nominations.
No, we got 4.
4. All right, you say what?
Everybody say who they nominate.
No. You go ahead, nominate someone, Trill, for Ducker of the Year right now. Who you got?
Ducker of the year. Shoot. Ducker of the year.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you can start.
Go ahead.
I'll say Terrence Crawford because he re-signed with Top Rank.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Duck of the year.
I already know who next. Trill, what do you think?
All right, I'm
Who
Ducker.
nominated for Ducker of the Year?
Duck of the year. I'm gonna jump out the window with this. I'm gonna say Lomachenko. I said the reason why I say Lomachenko is because he hasn't fought none of these tough guys that's been in the division. Every time a tough guy's in the division, he leaves the division. You know what I'm saying? Or he's not around the division, or he can't fight, or something like that. He doesn't have no top guys underneath his resume, but they still calling him the best. And I haven't seen him fight the best. So until he fights the best guys out there, like the Teofimo Lopez's, even the Devin Haney's and stuff like that, he's ducking them.
Ducker of the Year for me, I nominate Cecilia Brækhus. Where you at, man? You're not fighting the top fighters anymore. Clarissa Shields wants to smoke. You know, let's make it happen. Let's make the fight happen, and let's see who's the best women's boxer in the world.
please, you know what I'm saying? Tell us how you feel. Leave a comment. This is the Boxing Bros. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can check out this podcast where all major streaming services. We're on all major. We're all on all major streaming services. Just pull the net. So check us out. No pun. No pun.
Streaming service.
Streaming service. Thank you. This is the Boxing Bros signing out. I'm Trill.
G.
TV, baby!
Hey, I'm Kaden. Hey, no, Ned. Nice nominee on Duck of the Year, though.
Thank you.
Boxing Bros signing out.